This is the Simulation Football League, live on YouTube, presented by 8 PM Music. From the Season 9 SFL Championship game, it's been a while for these two franchises to meet up once again. This is their 7th meeting. Boy, it's a different set of circumstances. Instead of playing for a title, these teams are playing for their playoff lives. On the line here tonight, it is the Mexico City Aztecs and the Los Angeles Lycans. Good evening, folks, live from Los Angeles, California. I'm Tyler Falk, happy to have you along with us here tonight as LA and Mexico City try to get another win, try to get closer and back in the playoff picture or risk elimination here tonight. And thankfully, I'm joined alongside here in the booth by my friendly Canadian, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Mr. Brett Solberg. Brett, two of these teams, two historic franchises trying to get back into relevance tonight.
Yeah, and it's two teams that have just the smidgen of playoff hopes left. Mexico City, back-to-back wins, has people in the back door saying, hey, let's get that miracle 5-7 run from Mexico City out there. Whereas for Los Angeles, they just saw Seattle clinch the other night, so they want to follow up with a victory to keep up with the rest of the Pacific field. This will be an intriguing matchup to see which offense is going to come to show tonight.
A win for LA will tie Vancouver and Portland at 4-5, as here we go from Lycanthrope Lair. The opening kickoff will be taken back for a touchback by Nick Lockett, and so we will see Jordan Sipe take the field for his first offensive possession here in LA.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Jordan Sipe is that he hasn't been shy in throwing the football. 4th in the league coming into this week with 272 pass attempts, 7th in completions, but the numbers, they just don't show it right now.
Sipe will start off with a pass, looking over the middle for Terrell Cooper. Just a little bit too high. The ball will fall to the ground, incomplete. Let's introduce you to the rest of the Aztec offense. Jason Bartley, Terrell Cooper, and Nick Lockett are the wideouts, with Ray Bentley, the lone halfback, Buford Van Dam at fullback, and the tight ends are Bill Henry, Devontae Richardson. On the line, it's Titlamina Asaladal, Cataloni Supremo, and Trey Hyman. 3 wide here for Sipe. He comes out and I. Another pass for Sipe. Quick hitter over the middle is caught by Lockett, and he will turn up in between the hash marks and pick up a Mexico City first down. And unfortunately, he's still down. Second play of the ball game, and he's hurt.
And that's one of the risky things that Mexico City has done all season. They like their quick hit passes, their catch and run style plays, and maybe one of the reasons why they're in that 2-7 record right now. But second play off the hop, next man up. They still have Bartley and Cooper, and they also have their dual tight end sets. Someone has to step up on that group now.
So might we see more of Devontae Richardson, the first-round draft pick out of Lincoln? Might he get a few extra touches tonight? Mexico City on a 2-game win streak after starting out the season 0-7. Not the kind of news you want to hear on the field as you're trying to string a few more wins together. Pass right side, incomplete, looking for Cooper.
Yeah, and they're going to have to try, doing something different, this Mexico City offense. See if they can go a little bit deep. See if they can test this LA secondary that hasn't been up to snuff as in comparisons to seasons prior. This team only has 5 interceptions to their name, so this could be an advantage point for the Aztecs.
Split backfield here on second down. Have yet to see a running play. Pass over the middle, looking for a tight end, and just can't find a connection. And Mexico City might go for their 5th consecutive pass to begin the ball game.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Mexico is starting in this passing set because they are facing the 3rd best currently passing defense in the league and facing the worst running defense. So you think that Ray Bentley would get a lot of touches early on.
5th play of the drive, and we only have taken 13 seconds off the game clock. Sipe, four-man rush over the middle. It is caught near the line to gain by Jason Bartley. Tackle by Jack Hacksaw denies a Mexico City first down.
Yeah, and very quickly, they're going to challenge this. Oh boy, I don't know if this is the right decision here. It looked clear-cut initially that he was a little bit far away from that first down, but Ramos Lynn sees something that we don't.
So for the first time tonight, we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. Here's the play.
Yeah, and the biggest thing you have to worry about is ball placement. Bartley is straddling that first down marker. It's all about where that ball is landing on forward progress. I still don't think that's enough.
He got the ball tucked in quick, but was it far enough? And unfortunately for the Aztecs, all the field stands. Ramos trying to fight for every yard just like his players are, and unfortunately, they'll lose a timeout for it.
Yeah, and very quickly, fourth down situation, like you said, just 30 seconds off the board, and that is a huge blessing for LA, as they're basically going to have almost the advantage of having a kickoff in the first quarter for them.
4th and inches, Cale Barrett Jr. will punt this one away here to the LA return man, trying to make something happen. It's a good, decent little turn of about 10 yards from Bubba Tree up to the 24-yard line. And here comes Sully Richardson, who has really been a much more consistent passer here in the last 4 to 5 weeks, has not thrown an interception in 4 games.
Yeah, and really, the lone bright spot, in my opinion, of the LA offense is Sully Richardson. As they haven't had a lot of the run game, Logan Jack has had his difficulties as of recently coming in. Just his last game against Seattle, just 48 yards on 17 carries.
Here it comes Logan Jack, the halfback. He tries to go near side, gets 2 yards. And let's take a look at not just Sully Richardson spryness in the quarterback position, but the team that is the least penalized in the SFL, that being the Lycans and the Lycans offense. Chris Lee, DeMarcus Iniguez, Bubba Tree, LZ Pryor, the wideouts, Jimmy Foster and Jack Flash, the tight ends, Tommy Ryman, the fullback. You just mentioned Logan Jack, the halfback, who gets a few more yards to bring up 3rd and 5. And leading the line in the trenches is Janae Nicole, Vladimir Dunham, Kristen Swifty, and Bob Dunham. 3rd down now here for LA. Converting on 61% of their 3rd downs all season. That's top 10, and they convert another one here to begin proceedings. They find Jimmy Foster for a first down.
Yeah, and it's going to be the utilization of Sully Richardson and where he throws that football that's going to be key to the Vikings' success in this game, and it will be dependent on Logan Jack as well. But Sully Richardson leads the way. He's top 10 amongst almost every category that he's in quarterback statistics. That highlight marker, 13 touchdowns, 6th, and his QBR just about at 100.
First and 10, I formation, heavy blitz coming, and they get to Sully! Oh, they sent the house, and the house crashed on, led by John Fowler, the outside linebacker.
Tyler, that wasn't just the house. They sent the whole cul-de-sac to Sully Richardson. And there was one man that wanted to get to him the most. And you can see nobody touches John Fowler. He gets sack number 1 this season, pushes LA back 5 yards.
And more often than not, we see that play backfire for defenses. But this time around, Fowler is able to come up with a stop behind the line. LA will lose 5 on first down. Now they come out with 3 wide and a flexed out tight end to the right. They're on 2nd and 15. Dump off near side, looking for Jack, and Jack will manage about a yard. And he'll bring up 3rd and long here, as we are seeing early. Quite a defensive showcase here in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and poor lack of blocking from Jack Flash led to that assisted tackle effort from the 2 defenders to limit Logan Jack's attempt there.
4 wide here for Sully from his own 43-yard line. Dime look out of the Aztecs. Richardson backing up, now unloading into double coverage, and it's nearly taken away by Jeffrey Daggs. And the drive that ultimately looked a little promising falters, and they will not convert on this third down.
Yeah, and the MO of Mexico City's defense is not quite to turn the ball over. It's more so just stopping drives. They have 34 pass deflections coming into this game, only 3 interceptions. Only one team has less interceptions than Mexico City in this season coming into this game.
Return from Lockett ultimately results in a short yardage return at up to the 19-yard line. That is where Mexico City will take over. Let's introduce you to the LA defense now. Brogan Spira, Gary Marks, Selwyn Lane, Elise Blackwell are the defensive linemen. Garrett Hudson, Tazzy Blackwell, Greg Ward are the linebackers, with Mike Scott, Jack Hacksaw, and TD Jack at corner. And at safety, it's Rochelle Colston, Ryan Yosef, Ryan Proster, and Devontae Moore, the rookie out of Ottawa. They try and go through the middle here on first down. They pick up 5 on the Ray Bentley dive.
Yeah, and first touch for Ray Bentley here, and we should expect a lot more if I'm looking to exploit the woes of LA's run defense. This team allowing well over what you would think, 253 total rushing yards so far per game.
Send a extra lineman out near side, and that's an extra blocker potentially for Van Dam as the lone back, the fullback, picks up 3 on a very, very unique play call.
Yeah, and we saw this a little bit in their game against Minnesota where they utilized Buford Van Dam on that toss play to either side with a lead block. That led him to get 20 carries for 98 yards that game.
This time he lines up as the true fullback, looking to help block for Bentley, and Bentley springs free. Bentley
That's what's dangerous.
Inside the 40-yard line. He's all alone. No one is going to catch him. Touchdown, Ray Bentley for Mexico City.
And this is what Mexico City should have done that first drive, is to hand it off to the Hall of Famer in Ray Bentley, because he can make plays from nothing if he wanted to. That is the legend of Bentley himself, the power, the speed, the agility. But look at all the space he had on the left side of the field. Nobody around him in a 10-yard radius. 6 points on the board. Mexico City on top right now.
73-yard touchdown. Gets our scoring rolling. Mexico City looking for 7. Here is the extra point from Chaz Blackwater. It is up and good. 7-0, the visiting Aztecs over the hometown Lycans. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button to begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Here comes Bubba Tree on the return. He will get it up to about the 26-yard line. That is where the Lycans will take over in those midnight uniforms, and don't they look slick there, Brett? Nice little Los Angeles Lycans down the sides as well.
Yeah, you gotta love black uniforms no matter what team it is, and I think LA does a great job complementing it with that yellow and blue, those main colors that they have there. But for the Lycans offense, your team just got hit with a gut punch in the form of Ray Bentley. Can you respond now?
So LA lines up in an I formation. Here's the first play of the drive, handoff. Logan Jack left side, nothing doing. It is Fowler who had a sack on the opening drive. Let's introduce you to his friends there in the defensive backfield for the Aztecs. Skylar Kingsley, Dan Tritz, and Ziggy Blaylock are the linemen, with John Fowler, Dexter Jackson, Wolf Highwind, Matthew Alvarado at linebacker. Gerard Brody, Jeremiah Menafield, Liam Ryan, and Antoine Joe are the corners, with Jeffrey Daggs and Ben Charbs at safety. Richardson looking for Flash.
Oh.
He's unable to connect. The hit from Matthew Alvarado jars the ball free, and it brings up another third down.
Yeah, you had Alvarado, you had Jeffrey Daggs, and I believe you also had Jermaine Menefield in there as well to really make it a tough time for Flash to grab that catch. And very quickly, LA's on a 3rd and 9.
Wide receivers for Sully as he sends Iniguez in motion. Now has trips to his left. 5-step drop. Sully on trouble, and he gets it over the middle. Caught by LZ Pryor. He picks up the first down.
Yeah, and the one thing that LA needs to continue doing just in this drive alone is just keep possession of the football. It doesn't matter how they do it. Keep this drive going no matter what. Mexico City hit you with almost like a flash KO of a drive, like I stated earlier here, and LA just needs to respond in a slow, kind, and 3rd down conversions might just be it for them.
Quick drop, quick hitter, left side, and oh no, Flash couldn't hold on to that one. Just did a little bit of twirling.
Might be too much popcorn on the sidelines for Mr. Flash there, because he had a chance earlier, and you can take aid to the defense in stifling that catch, but that one, he had no choice but to catch it wide open, and it just slips out of his hands.
Corner creeping up. Sully rolling and fires across his body. One-handed snag from Tommy Rahman, the fullback.
And here's something that LA hasn't used too much out of them. Tommy Rahman just getting his 5th reception here this season, and this guy is averaging well over a 1st down per catch. So you'd think they'd start to utilize him a little bit more in situations like this. Hopefully he gets more touches in this game.
For the first time tonight, LA cross midfield into Aztec territory. Pitch play for Jack, and he's caught up behind his blockers, and Dexter Jackson will clean up Jack for a loss of 1.
Yeah, and I think the key here for Mexico City is to neutralize at least one facet of that LA offense, and the easiest right now is that run game, and turn LA into kind of a one-dimensional offense, which they have been all season if you look at the numbers.
Richardson rolls again and fires near side, and behind the coverage goes Jimmy Foster on another corner route.
Yeah, and those secondary the secondary for Mexico City has to be ready for this passing offense of LA. We haven't talked about it much yet, but they are the number 2 passing offense in this league, averaging 279 per game. They don't run the football that much, but the success has been mostly due to the pass. So watch out for Sully Richardson here.
Second catch of the ball game there for Foster. His first one went for 18. That one went for 19 yards. And now LA is at the Aztec 24-yard line. 4-man rush, pass over the middle, and Jackson contemplating either picking off the ball or tackling the intended target, and he ended up trying to do both.
Yeah, and it just felt like there was really no target that Richardson was throwing it to, just to a guy. And thankfully for Mexico City's end, nobody was really there.
Sully is 3 of 6 on this drive as he rolls to his left, fires over the middle, caught. Another catch for LZ Pryor, and they're inside the red zone where they have flourished this season.
Yeah, and these rollout plays for LA have really been working out, especially for Sully Richardson, both from a time standpoint and from an openness standpoint. And a lot of these throws have been on the opposite side that he's rolling out to. So Mexico City's defense has to be aware of this at some point, that Richardson might just throw to his opposite side on the rollout.
LA have scored 90% of the time on the red zone. Richardson now across the middle, and it's caught! Touchdown! Los Angeles, they respond immediately, and it's Chris Lee for the score.
And it feels like I'm reading a script here. I just said that Sully Richardson has been rolling out to one side and throwing it the opposite way. And what do we see here? roll out right, throw left, and you can see the space that Richardson has and just a different angle to throw that football to his receivers. Lee gets open just enough on what feels like a post route there to the end of that end zone line there to get the 6 points.
Chris Lee's 7th receiving touchdown this season, his 28th of his career, and the extra point is up and good from Sido Lindy. And we are level again at 7. Mexico City and LA all knotted up as we are nearing under the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter of this week. Kickoff now being returned by Mexico City. And you get all the way up to the 24-yard line. That's Ivy. And typically we'll see Nick Lockett returning punts, but if you miss the earlier portion of the game, if you're still busy getting concessions, getting a hot dog and maybe a drink or two, you might have missed Nick Lockett's earlier injury, and unfortunately it seems like he's still out for the Aztec offense.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt that passing game for Mexico City a lot just because they don't have a lot of wide receiver options. Only 3 really star-signed contracted wide receivers. They've got the 2 tight ends, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kept feeding the ball to Ray Bentley to counteract.
Here they go with Bentley, right side. He did have the 73-yard rushing score on the last drive, and he starts off this drive by going nowhere. Tazzy Blackwell with the tackle.
Yeah, and LA really has to just key in on Bentley here for the rest of this game. He got you on a 72-yard speeder down the left side of the field. You don't want that happening again, but I would also focus on Van Dam. He got 20 carries last week for a reason.
5-man rush, Sipe, middle, that's caught near the sticks, and this time they will give it to Bartley for the first down.
Yeah, nice little one-on-one there between him and Scott, it looks like, over there to really fight for the football. Bartley gets himself just in front of him to give Sipe the opportunity to throw that football.
So now from the 35-yard line. Try and go up the middle with Van Dam, and no joy this time as he's brought down near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and these linebackers love to pursue down the middle runs no matter what, and that was just textbook LA defense to get to Van Dam at the line.
Now they try again with Van Dam, right side. He's through one man, but cannot get through Jack.
Yeah, and again, Van Dam needs that proper blocking. He can't do it all himself. He can shove one guy down. He can shove He can shove Ryan Yosef down, no problem at all. But he can't do it all by himself. He needs to get a little bit more protection from his linemen and his receivers.
Sipe will roll this time on 3rd down, looking middle, caught just in time to Bartley. First down, Mexico City.
And this might be the Jason Bartley show moving forward, because it's really been a wealth of throws, a wealth of receptions between these wide receivers coming into this game. Cooper's got 29 receptions, Lockett's got 28, and Bartley has 21. With Lockett down, there's going to be more targets. Maybe they're going to go all to Bartley here.
Too wide left. Here for Sipe, they will go with the run up the middle, and Bentley cannot get around the left guard, and Rochelle Colston comes down and brings him down.
Yeah, and what Bentley can't do is, over-rely on his offensive linemen to get him forward. Just trust on the gap that they give him, and just speed forward or bruise forward if he needs to.
Possibly the final play of the first quarter. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. As Sipe will roll right, and he throws a near interception. Garrett Hudson in the area, right place, right time, just couldn't hold it in.
And personally, not a fan of these rollout quick hits that a lot of these quarterbacks have been throwing as of recently. And I could see why Jordan Sipe wanted to do it. He kind of wanted to change the pace a little bit here because he's had quite a bit of time in the pocket. But sometimes being more patient is better off for you.
Sipe will roll again. Gets an extra block from the wideout and near side can't connect with Bartley. And that will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and Bartley's been their guy in this first quarter here. And it's been tight coverage from these LA corners here, which, just makes Sipe's job a little bit more difficult moving forward. And since they're just outside of Chaz Blackwater range, they're going to have to kick the football away to possibly end this quarter.
Punt is away from Barrett Jr. This one looks to be a beauty, except it takes a terrible Mexico City bounce into the end zone. It'll be down for a touchback. And so Los Angeles will start the second quarter on their own 20-yard line. It's almost as you were. We still got a tie ball game, but both sides have scored. This is the Simulation Football League, presented by 8 p.m. Music, right here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Lycanthrope Lair here in Los Angeles, California. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg. Happy to have you with us here this Sunday evening. And a special thanks to Greg Soto and Tim Hackett and the Stats Truck, keeping us up to date and all the numbers and figures that make each and every broadcast that much more intuitive and personalized. Handoff, Logan Jack barreling through his opposite number for a first down.
And that's vintage Logan Jack coming in. You know him from seasons past for being an absolute bruiser and knocking people down if he needs to. That's the Logan Jack that LA has needed all season, and they need him for sure in this game here.
A solid play on the first play of the drive gets them a first down. Now, how do they string a few of those decent plays together? Pitch play right side. Jack right side. And he shoves a man into the turf as he picks up the first down. Jeffrey Daggs just barely kept up with Logan Jack. If it hadn't been for the sideline, he might still be running.
And this is definitely what LA needs to do here to open up that passing game. It's going to lead to more successful drives down the line if Logan Jack can get going. Because you can see in games, especially in games where Logan Jack has over 100 yards rushing, which has only been 4 games this season, LA has always been in it.
Back through the middle, trying to push his fullback Rahman forward. Gets a few extra yards. It'll be 6 in total.
Yeah, and they're really feeding the ball to Jack here to really just set momentum on this drive, see how far Jack can take you, and then Sully can really settle down and go to his targets. And right now, Foster and Pryor have been the main 2 guys so far for Richardson.
Again with Jack, and Jack picks up another first down into Mexico City territory.
And now we're starting to play some LA Lycans football here. They want to keep time of possession, and they just want to dominate this game that way. And right now, feeding the ball to Logan Jack, and then slowly changing formations per play is how you do it.
Jack has really been turning it up as of late. His first 4 carries went for 4 yards, and now over 30 yards now in just his last 4 carries, as he continues again to just churn those legs and pick up 3 more.
Yeah, and you have to think these consecutive handoffs to Jack, Mexico really has to start focusing in, putting a target on the head, back, shoulders, knees, wherever you can of Logan Jack, because that's all he's had is just the football.
A run again. This time it's the backup tailback getting a little bit of love as Jack takes a breather on the sideline. And now might we see a pass from LA?
Yeah, surely this has to be a pass situation here for LA. Now it's 3rd and about a medium situation. They've got the rollout plays that have worked wonders in the first quarter here. Can they go back to it here? I'm not sure with 5 receivers though.
3rd and 7. 6 consecutive rush plays, and here's the first passing play of the drive, right side! And Sully, just a little bit too much air underneath that football, looking for Pryor, and it falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and a punting situation.
Yeah, not a bad idea from Richardson there. It looked like there was open field for Pryor to get down there, but Richardson just kind of overthrows him by a few yards, and unfortunately, that LA drive that started off so nice stalls.
Punt is on its way near side. Fair catch called for. And and taken in by Tommy Rahman. First down.
No
LA
way.
Inside the 20-yard line.
And that has to be the effect of not having Nick Lockett on your special teams, is someone else has to step up. He couldn't quite manage to get that football, and Tommy Rahman, man on the spot, gives LA essentially a free 25 yards.
LA now with a little bit more motivation. Here comes Jack through the middle, and he picks up 8 yards. And Jack on 7 carries since this drive began, right around 38 yards.
Yeah, and did you see that, Tyler, the burst of speed that Logan Jack had after that little bumble and essentially recovery from LA? That's the motivation that LA is needed to really jump things into another gear.
That total of 43 yards officially, and Jack again continuing to find holes now as they continue to catch the Aztec defense on their heels. It's 1st and goal.
That's that big brain boy Logan Jack coming in, because there wasn't a clear path to the end zone there. He had to go serpentine to get that 1st down. Now 1st and goal for this rejuvenated LA offense.
Mexico City going to stack 9 men in the box to try and counter a run. Instead, they will pass near side. Jack looking for the pylon, and he got it! Touchdown, Logan Jack. They turn the special teams mistake from Mexico City into points.
Yeah, and the lycanthrope layer is on their feet, and they are bursting out of their seats right now after what feels like a crazy last 45 seconds of football action here. You thought Mexico City had a chance, to maybe turn things around and have themselves an opportunity for the lead, but one mishap leads to LA in prime position, and they take advantage of it.
4-minute drive ends with a Logan Jack flip out touchdown. Sully Richardson has 2 touchdowns today, and now they take a lead 14-7 as we go back to SFL headquarters for the first time tonight, and we get an update from the Florida game with Cam and Irvine. And we'll catch the game break here on the other side of this kick return. Here comes Jeffrey Daggs on the return. A more sure-handed return man. Flag on the play.
There's a flag on that too.
Daggs gets all the way up to the 35-yard line. Here is the call from the referee.
And they might get another 15 yards out of that, or they'll take 15 away. That looks like a clipping call.
It might take more than 15 away. Scratch it. And a total of 18 yards from where they should have been. So they'll be backed up on their own 17-yard line. And that is where they'll start this drive.
Yeah, that was a great run from Jeffrey Daggs off that kickoff too, and just squandered off that clipping call. Now starting behind the touchback line.
Here comes the run from Bentley up the middle. A gain of 9 yards on 1st down. As I think we now have the wires connected. We go back to SFL headquarters from a game break. Cam, over to you.
Thank you, Tyler. Over in Detroit, Florida at Motor City. Ron Cochran dueling in the first half. That's a touchdown. E.J. Minson. Cochran 19 of 23 for 210 and a touchdown. It's a close, low-scoring defensive battle in the third. 14-7. Motor City 4 sacks. Back to you, Tyler.
Thank you, Cam. 2 14-7 games here in Los Angeles. It is the hometown Lycans with the lead here, as Bentley having to fight through 2 defenders. He gains about 1.5 before he's brought down by Blackwell.
Yeah, and LA really brought the heat on Mexico City there, and I don't think Bentley was quite ready to have 2 tacklers ready after that first level.
Short yardage situation on 3rd down. They'll try and trust Van Dam through the middle, and he pick up the 1st down in a tough yardage situation. That's who you need, a big-bodied fullback to get the job done.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you trust on Buford Van Dam? 6'4", 255 pounds of lean, mean, taquito-eating machine.
Needs maybe 1 or 2 more taquitos after that 3rd down conversion. 3 wide. Here as they go back to Bentley, and he spins around and looking near side. He'll cross the 50-yard line. A stellar run from Ray Bentley.
You know, and sometimes we forget that Ray Bentley was usually the second fiddle to the run game in Mexico City for a little while here. But you forget the agility and the explosiveness that Ray Bentley can give you. And just like that, over the century mark for Mr. Bentley, have yourself a first half.
Averaging right around 15.4 yards per carry here tonight. And that's something that the Los Angeles defense have struggled with. They have struggled against opposing teams' running game. Wobbler over the middle, looking for Van Dam, cannot haul it in. The hit from Blackwell jars the ball free.
Yeah, and that was initially in the hands as well for Van Dam there. He's not just a blocking tight end. He's not a fullback. He's not just a power fullback. He's got some hands on him too. And he could be that option, that 4th option sometimes in a 3-receiver set.
2nd and 10. Here for the Aztecs. Quick hitter near side. Bentley, and down he goes. Blackwell on the spot for a loss of 1.
Yeah, and that's just the lack of presence of blocking coming from that Mexico City offense. Van Dam, as much as we can hype him up, he was a little late to the task there, and they're going to force a passing situation here on 3rd and 11.
Blackwell leading the team in tackles tonight with 5. As Sipe will roll. Looking middle, caught. Bentley, Bartley. There. Top 1st down.
Yeah, Ray Bartley with that catch there. Jason Bentley, Ray Bartley, whatever you want to call him at this point. It's just a nice rollout to the left and just following his guy through. And again, Bartley finds himself in front of his secondary guy, which gives Sipe the opportunity to throw the football.
We get our A's mixed up with our E's here up in northern or southern Canada, so no surprise there. Pass, nice pitch and catch. That's Cooper for a 1st down.
Yeah, and Bartley's been, the MVP of this first half so far for Mexico City, but we can't forget about Terrell Cooper. He's a guy that can be lethal at any moment that's possible. But what's surprising from this Mexico City offense so far, their leading receiver, Bill Henry, only has 1 target to his name so far.
That's 51 receptions, which coming into the weekend was 7th in the league. And you'd wonder, especially here with Mexico City, where the moniker "throw it to the tight end" was built, why they just really haven't gone his direction. Quite surprising.
And you think about, Bill Henry as a player himself, he is that perfect red zone threat. They're in the red zone right now.
Underneath here for Ray Bentley, and Bentley spinning upfield. Another first. No, this time it will not be a 1st down. Now you wonder if it's time to throw the hanky for the 2nd time tonight. This time, Ramos Lynn keeps the hanky in his pocket. And we hit the 2-minute warning here in Lycanthrope Lair. Mexico City driving. Can they tie the game up again? It's 14-7 Lycans here on Sunday night. And the Lair is getting loud here with 2 to go here in the first half. Pitch play near side. Looking for extra run room. Nothing doing. Are you kidding me?
Oh my lord, that has to be a challengeable offense there, whether it be from the booth, whether it be from, the coming from the inside the sock of Ramos Lin, but they're going to keep it in the sock, it feels like, because maybe that fear of that play standing earlier in that first quarter may be haunting them a bit.
4th and inches on 2 plays that look from our angle to be first downs. Instead, Chaz Blackwater is going to wait for 4 seconds on the play clock and kick a field goal. 14-10 is the score now in LA. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. And take a second or third look at those last 2 plays, because it might not be R62, but they might need to take a second look at it, as the return up the middle for Gibbons was all the way to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Mexico City Hall of Famer Mike Daggs yelling from his taco and now andouille smoked sausage stand, just saying, why wasn't that a first down either the first or second time? But Mexico City as a team needs to recover from this. Any mishap, doesn't matter what happens, they need to stop LA from breaking this lead open.
Three wide here on first down here for LA. LA will get the ball to start the second half, and so they go up the middle with Jack with a run, and will allow them a yard. But it seems like they're just going to try and milk this clock going into halftime and put more of a drive together in the second half.
Yeah, and again, it feels like if you're Mexico City, you've got to turn this LA offense one-dimensional, and that's stopping Logan Jack or Sully Richardson.
Richardson near side. Caught by Jack Flash. It's about 6 yards, and we're getting word from a few members of the community who have jumped into the YouTube chat. Thank you, Mike Daggs. Upon further review, he's saying that the knee was down from Bentley, just shy. So maybe the Zebras are not as, deficient in eyesight? What do you call it? What do you call it, Brett? Run up the middle, nothing doing. Stop 2 yards before the line to gain, and there will be enough time for LA to punt the ball away.
Yeah, I do question Mike Daggs' vision himself, because he's watching it from his 8-inch little portable TV on his taco and sausage stand right now. So maybe he's seeing it from a different view and we got a bigger screen. But maybe not. Who knows? But regardless, I think this first half might end in the score we see here, 14-10.
Here comes a return from Jeffrey Daggs. Nothing doing, and the punt got off a little bit sooner than I would have thought. And so there'll be 14 seconds to go for the Aztec offense.
And if I'm Jordan Sipe, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Let's see how far we can stretch this offense. Get some deep throws down. See if we can take advantage of this and possibly have themselves a 3-point lead heading into halftime. But that's just the aggressor in me.
Pitch play left side for Van Dam. Van Dam taken down behind the line. They'll say he got enough forward progress to the line of scrimmage as Blackwell comes up with another tackle. Team leading 7th. Here as we close out the first half of play. It's the Lycans 14, Aztecs 10, with both teams still in the hunt for a playoff spot, and we've been treated to a pretty well-played game, all things considered.
Yeah, and I would say, so far, mission accomplished for LA. It's not that they, haven't dominated this game in a sense, but right now, they've taken care of business at home, and it's really because of, a dual threat offense that we haven't seen a lot this season from LA. Logan Jack starting to get going a little bit here. His first 13 carries, now it's 60 yards, already better than his last game last week. And Sully Richardson, he's throwing pretty accurate. He's over 100 yards passing. He's staying clean. and he's got 2 touchdowns as a result for it. So great work from this Lycans offense. But right now, Mexico City is really trying to focus on where they're going to go offensively. And right now, I'd be looking at Ray Bentley moving forward.
So that's the halftime show presented by 8 p.m. Music. Lycans 14, Aztecs 10. As we welcome you back to Lycanthrope Lair. And if you're liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Aztecs will kick the ball off to begin the third quarter as we're back underway here in LA. Here comes the return from Gibbons as he tries to branch out to the left-hand side, and he takes a seat on his rump at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and really this is LA's advantage here. This first drive of the half goes to them. And like I said, you've got a dual-threat offense going right now for the first time in what feels like at least a couple weeks for them. Now it's about taking advantage of the situation at hand. Can they get themselves a score in this first drive?
Aztecs don't want to be 2 scores. They need their defense to step up to begin this second half. Down by 4 as Richardson will be back to throw. Over the middle, tipped.
Ooh.
Incomplete. Stellar job from the linebacker Jackson to get a hand up.
Yeah, and the linebackers like to get their hands on the football as much as they can. Alvarado coming into this game 3rd in the league in pass deflections. But, you know, they haven't had too much results. Again, their focus is stopping drives and forcing them to punt the football away.
That was the first target for Lee since the touchdown. Way back in the first quarter, delayed handoff for Logan Jack. Gets all of 1 yard before he's taken down by Liam Ryan. Have not called his name too much tonight. They have tried to stay away from Liam Ryan in both the passing and running game.
Yeah, they've tried to, avoid, one side of the field at least, and there's that delayed handoff that I've seen throughout the season from LA. It's a hit or miss kind of play, and you can see this time it missed.
Empty backfield. 5 wide receiver look here for the Lycans. Richardson will look to throw, rolling and firing, and he finds Darius Iniguez for the first down.
Yeah, and that's just his 3rd reception this season, but when they can get to him, he has been effective. And again, it's that patience from Sully to find himself his open guy. He had LZ Pryor a little bit more forward, but that wouldn't have gotten the first down. He wanted to get that first down, and Iniguez was there, and that's what's important, moving those chains.
So now they find themselves right around the 45-yard line. Offset I with 1 tight end in near the strong side of that offset I. They send Pryor away from the strong side, trying to catch the defense a little off guard. They run in the direction of the fullback, and Jack picks up about 4 yards.
And right now, Mexico City, at least from what we've seen so far, have put a little bit more of an emphasis on stopping Logan Jack, and we've seen less of those more explosive runs early on.
Goal line I, a heavy look out of the LA offense on 2nd down. Try and go up the middle again with Jack, and he's turned around by Jeffrey Daggs after a pickup of a couple more. That'll bring up 3rd and short.
And again, LA will take that because it's 3rd and 2 now. It's a short down situation. This is favorable to them. They have over a 60% conversion rate through this season, and they just want to continue pushing that clock forward.
They're 50% right now tonight. 3 of 6 with already a 3rd down converted early on the drive, but this time Logan Jack is denied by Dexter Jackson, amongst others, be 4th and inches, and we've seen how many of these so close calls for a line to gain, and this time it's going to be LA who throw the challenge flag. Rochelle Colston with the red hanky, and we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com. Here we go again.
And this one feels like the Bartley challenge, where we just got to worry about the placement of that football, but this one seems way more clear-cut. I think Logan Jack is still about, a good 5-6 inches away from that first down marker.
Here's the call. And so, LA, unfortunately, will also lose a timeout, but this time it's the second half, when those timeouts are, potentially more valuable.
Yeah, and that might hurt them down the line, but you got to trust on that LA defense to move them forward. And look at this. Sully's still on the field. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
This has put a stamp on this quarter and to help drive LA further down the road to potential playoffs. They get the call. Jack gets the first down, and there was no second guessing on whether or not he got the first down this time.
Yeah, and a bit of a risk coming from LA here, because they're only 1 of 4 on fourth down conversions going into this game, but they find the right blocking, nice little stretch run, smooth the change again.
5-step drop from Sully on first down, looking middle, and it's a beautifully weighted pass to find Pryor over the middle. Another first down for LA.
And now the hits just keep on coming. Now finding LZ Pryor in between two defenders on a nice little post route down the middle, and it wasn't going to get into the hands of Wolf Highwind. Just wasn't there at the right spot, and just like that, they're practically in the red zone.
Weak guy formation here for LA on first down. Just outside the red zone, Jack goes back into next week. Matthew Alvarado with the hit.
And Alvarado has been that linebacker leader. If Jackson can't get to them, it's Alvarado on the outside. Give him, I think, his 12th tackle for loss this season.
Offside eye again, this time with 3 wideouts. Jack gets the call on the carry, and he gets out of a couple of tackles, leans his shoulder into the defender, and picks up a total of 5 on the play. Brings up another third down.
Yeah, and now it's been, in this quarter at least, pushing Logan Jack to get them in more favorable scenarios on second and third down. This time at 3rd and 5, it opens up the playbook a little bit, but it's still a medium down situation.
They've already converted on 1 third down and 1 fourth down on the drive. Richardson will roll, looking left side, it is in the end zone. Jack Foster, touchdown, his first of his career.
James Foster, welcome to the SFL, and get yourself a Week 11 touchdown to your name, my good sir, in a moment that LA has needed, because Mexico City has been fighting back with them. Now gives them a little bit of breathing room, and look at that tight window that Sully had to throw to him. Fantastic throw, great catch, and now it's a 10-point lead for LA.
Jimmy Foster with the catch and the score on an 11-play, 70-yard drive, culminating with that 15-yard strike from Sully to Jimmy Foster. 3 passing touchdowns for Richardson tonight on a solid drive that sees LA go up by 11. Now available, free to download, you can play the SFL video game on the go with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for the 4K 23, right in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Here come the Aztec offense to start their first drive of the second half, now down by 2 scores. They'll need to make any They'll need to make some progress, especially on this drive, but they'll have to find points to remain in this conversation here in tonight's game. Handoff middle. Nothing doing. Down goes Bentley. Taken down by Blackwell.
Yeah, and now this defense is starting to respond in kind from LA's offense. And that's what it needs to do. Total synchronicity between the offense and defense. Good start to this drive defensively for the Lycans.
Blackwell now on a blitz. 5-man rush, and down goes Side. Got out of the tackle from Blackwell, but could not escape a second Blackwell. Ace Blackwell comes up with a sack.
Yeah, you got the Blackwell Tackwells, as you said earlier here, and it just felt like the pressure was going to be inevitable from LA because they've been pressuring that line all game but haven't gotten to Sipe, and they finally get to him here in the middle of this third quarter.
3rd and long now for Sipe. Back to throw. Has time, now rolls, is going to unload over the middle, and he just overthrew Jason Bartley, and that's 4th down.
Yeah, and it was, again, good idea from Sipe. Let that baby air out. See how far you can take that secondary, but just overthrows it a little bit here. And now the cracks are starting to show on this Mexico City team as it's now an 11-point lead, and they're giving the ball back to LA.
Punt is away here from Barrett. Already had a couple of special teams miscues. Is out of one tackle. Bubba Tree makes another man miss, gets up to the 35-yard line, and Bubba Tree, oh no! He's still down. Another injury to another wide receiver. This time it's Bubba Tree for LA.
And we haven't seen too much of Bubba Tree, but he is their special teams expert again. Back-to-back injuries in this game have been to key special teams guys, and now it'll be up to probably Darcius Iniguez to get himself more involved in special teams now.
Two wideouts to begin the drive. Here for Richardson, handoff, Logan Jack, nothing doing as the defense for Mexico City starts to tighten up and try and keep this game close.
Yeah, and right now, that's all Mexico City's defense's goal right now is to basically stop this drive, screech that baby to a halt as quickly as they can so the offense can go back out on the field and give it another try.
Step drop, Richardson dumping off left side, trying to connect with Jimmy Foster, and he can't because he was interfered with.
Yeah, and that's a tight battle that we've seen throughout this game on both defenses. They're playing tight man-to-man defense, and they're trying to stop basically Jimmy Foster because he's been their guy in this quarter, and they've thrown a few more targets to him than usual. So it's been more double coverage on him, but just way too much hands on that play.
I say it was hand fighting. You can hand fight within the first couple of yards, but that one just a little bit too much there from Alvarado. And it's a free 1st down here for the Lycans. Delayed handoff, Jack. Gains 4 before Jackson and company taken down. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, and again, Mexico City's goal has to be try to neutralize at least one facet of LA's offense, turn into something one-dimensional so it's easier to stop. And right now, both facets of LA's offense starting to work here.
Richardson looking near side, caught. LZ Pryor, 1st down, Lycans.
And that's the result of Jermaine Benefield pushing himself a little bit too far back on that change of direction. You see from Pryor was too late trying to get forward, you can see there, and Pryor just the open space to get that catch.
So back to the line they come. They're on 1st down. Richardson's night has looked just about the same for the past 4 games, remaining consistent and remaining error-free for the most part, as he'll hand off to Logan Jack for another 3 yards.
Yeah, and you know what? These 3 yards are okay for LA because they just keep pushing this clock now. They've got a comfortable lead, and now they can, just run this clock down if they want and just push, 3 to 4 yards per play.
6th play of the drive. Jack
Ooh.
going backwards. He saw Alvarado coming in from the outside. He had to turn and to try and make something happen, but Alvarado closed in quickly.
And you don't see that too often from a running back trying to change direction to the other side. That's exactly what Logan Jack was trying to do, was try to flip the play himself out of that, but Alvarado was having none of it. 6-yard loss.
They will look to pass for only the second time in the drive. Richardson in trouble. Dan Trentz with a massive sack. Going back 7 more yards and really pushing LA out of field goal range.
Speaking of something that Mexico City hasn't done well this season is sacking the quarterback. Now just their 5th this season, and Dan Trentz gets his 2nd of the campaign, and more importantly, it pushes them way outside of field goal range and gives LA nada on this drive.
Well, a punt is away, and fair catch called for by Jeffrey Daggs at the 12-yard line, and we go back to Detroit for another game break from Cam and Irvine. Cam.
Thank you, Tyler. Florida pulling away late in the 4th quarter. Michael Brown, after the defense held to a field goal, picked off by Evan Carroll. First turnover of the night for Motor City. Florida turns that into a touchdown. 27-10. Florida is 6 minutes away from winning the East. Back to you in LA.
So here comes the Aztecs on another drive. They had to punt it away on the last drive, and here's Bentley on a flip out, and he's trying to work his way through 2 defenders and does a great job just to get 2 yards.
Yeah, it's a tough run from Bentley, and that's what we should expect from him, is going to be those tough runs, especially now that LA's starting to key in on Bentley and kind of force Sipe to run that to throw that football down.
Ziggy Blaylock has the other sack. Russell Brazel for Mexico City this season as the pass over the middle is caught. There's Bill Henry. There's a first down.
And Mike Daggs now celebrating on the sidelines here. They finally got it to a tight end, as my Mike Daggs impression is about a 0 out of 10 on that one. But nonetheless, I think that's what Mexico City needs to do here. They need to find that top receiver, keep throwing it to Bill Henry.
Here they come to the line, who started on their own 12-yard line. A great pickup of about 17, 18 yards. On the first play, they go up the middle this time with Bentley on the ground, and it's working a little bit better. 8 more to the tally.
You know what makes things easy for an offense is those, those tough 6, 7, 8-yard runs from your running back. You love to see it as a head coach and a coordinator here, but when you're down 11 at this point, I want a little bit more from your Hall of Famer.
Tight ends near side, here for Sipe. They will try and run the opposite direction with Ray Bentley, and nothing doing. Joseph with the tackle. They'll say that Bentley somehow got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and there's that Ray Bentley fatherly brain coming in. Maybe he stayed up too long with his kid there, and the decision to spin move behind the line caused him to lose that extra yard there.
Step drop from Sipe on 3rd and short. He has to throw now in the middle, and it's nearly taken away. We've seen a lot of close calls on some of these passes where Shel Colston bats it away. 4th and 2 here for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and that's just a quick one as well, as you felt that they were starting to churn something out of this, and they're just going to kick this football away and give LA another chance to blow this lead open.
Albert Jr. will punt this one away here for the Aztecs. Now what will the Lycans do here on the return? Decent little return there from Givens up to about the 29-yard line. That is where LA will take over with an 11-point lead. Week 12 of the SFL season has 11 more games on tap, headlined on Friday by 3 matchups pivotal to the playoffs. Saturday's monster showdowns, Florida versus DC and Houston versus Vancouver. Plus Sunday's must-win tussle in the Central between Sioux Falls and Tulsa. For the complete Week 12 slate, head on over to simulationfl.net to plan your SFL weekend. 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter as Jack gets the call left side. And in this second half, we've seen a lot less of Jack and a lot more of these linebackers as we hit the quarter break. Fourth quarter coming up, 21-10, hometown Lycans out in the lead. We go to Chris Curtis, who's going to tell you what our rights are.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Thanks, Albino, Tyler Falk, and Brett Solberg on the call here from Lycanthrope Lair in Los Angeles, California. Happy to have your company. Thanks for tuning in here this Sunday evening. Tim Hackett and Greg Soto are statisticians this evening. They've done an excellent job. And the SFL Commissioner Kevin Irvine is our producer. Logan Jack only a yard on second down.
Yeah, and what Mexico City's defense has to do is respond in kind to what LA's defense has done to them. 23 total yards of offense in the third quarter for Mexico City is just not going to cut it.
Iniguez, the man in motion near side. As Richardson will look to throw, and he's got Pryor on another post route. That combination of Pryor running that post route and Richardson being on target tonight has worked wonders for this LA attack.
Yeah, and there's a reason that LZ Pryor has been 5 of 7 now on targets now in this game. Is because of that post route, as you stated earlier. Nice 10-yard post route, just gets open enough, gets in front of the corner to let Richardson throw to Pryor.
And Richardson continuing his rock-solid second half. He was 4 of 5 in the third quarter with 66 yards, and that last pass was a total of 18. Delayed handoff, Logan Jack through one, cannot get by the second defender. 3 yards in total.
And again, they don't mind the 3 yards. They'll take the 3 yards because it's chewing up clock. Gets them ready for second down. And right now, Sully has been red hot. At least in this second half, and that's the reason why LA has this lead.
Faked a blitz. Instead, Jack runs in that direction. Pick up a couple more yards. Gonna bring up third down, in which LA has been hit or miss on tonight.
Yeah, right now it's been hit or miss, but right now the focus is on keeping on the hot hand of Sully Richardson. He's 5 of 6 for 84 yards in the second half. It's been amazing. All 5 completions have been 14 yards or more.
That would certainly give them a first down if they go to the air. Instead, they go to the ground with Jack, who gets an extra block from Tommy Rahman. Now here comes Logan Jack near sideline, and Jack will step out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. A beautiful run, excellent downfield blocking. Sets up 1st and 10 from the red zone.
Yeah, first complete blocking effort from LA there, and it was just trusting on Logan Jack to follow the line, follow whatever line that he could get to get those extra yards. It turns into 25 inside the red zone now, and now they can start really making Mexico pay.
Now Jack is over the century mark in rushing yards as well tonight. 2 century-yard rushing backs in the ball game this evening. One for either side. Oh my goodness! Alvarado out of nowhere.
Choo-choo! Are you ready, Mr. Richardson, for the Alvarado train to smack you right in the face? I don't think you were, my friend. 2nd and 13.
What a play from Alvarado. He had eyes for no one else but Richardson. And down he goes. He's sent on another blitz again. Pass looking near side. Incomplete. Believe that was intended for Chris Lee.
Yeah, and you can just see the aggressiveness of these Mexico City secondary members. They're not really focused on intercepting the football because Gerard Brody had a clear-cut chance of maybe getting his hands up, but he was just focused on getting the player instead.
5 wide on 3rd and long. Here for the Lycans. Richardson to throw. Near side, and it's tipped. And incomplete. Gerard Brody comes up with a deflection, which will save a touchdown. And even if Sid O'Lindy comes out and it kicks a field goal, this will be still a 2-score ball game.
Yeah, a nice save there.
For his 60th career field goal make, the kick is up and it is right down the pipe. For his 60th career field goal, as the Lycans bring it out to a 14-point lead, 24-10. Over to you, Brett. Sorry to cut you off.
No, and it was great hands from Gerard Brody. Again, involved in the last 2 plays of Mexico's defense there, and now limiting to 3 points. Opens the door a crack more for Mexico City's offense, but that offense has to step up now. You cannot have the same performance as you did the 3rd quarter.
About 4 steps in his own end zone. Jeffrey Daggs on the return. He will get nowhere but the 22-yard line as he's brought down. That is where Mexico City will take over. We want to remind you that 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To find their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, it's at 8pmmusic.com. Buford Van Dam gets the opening carry of the drive, and he will gain 4.
Yeah, and right now, you got to ask for a little bit more from your guys here. 4 yards ain't going to cut it. You don't know how many more possessions you're going to get in this game, so you want to just get as many yards as possible, especially on this next play here. Maybe give it to Bentley on a stretch run again.
Do a pitch, left side, Bentley with a nice
That's what you get.
Step, and he gets beyond the 40-yard line. Dragged down from behind by Yosef, but that is how dangerous Bentley can be.
Yeah, that's the danger of Ray Bentley coming in here. And it was just a nice path given by Buford Van Dam to just kind of lead the way and show Bentley where to go to get those 15, 16, 17, 18 yards, you know?
Well, don't you know now, you betcha, eh? 1st and 10 now after the Bentley run. Split backfield. Behind side, 4-man rush, dump off near side. Bentley in space, out of 1 tackle and fighting off another for another 1st down. A gain of about 13 for Ray.
Now we're starting to cook a little bit here, and this might be just Mexico City trusting on Ray Bentley to push them down the field, because right now he's getting those open one-on-one battles. He's winning each one of them, whether it's be shedding through or pushing his hand down to get those extra yards. Another 1st down for Mexico City.
Hacksaw was there to push him out of bounds, and it brings up another 1st down as Mexico City rather quickly, out of runs and swing passes, find themselves in plus territory. Clock winding down in this contest. Handoff left side. Bentley back to the line of scrimmage. Garrett Hudson there on the stop, and you have to wonder when is the impetus? Where is the hustle? Now down by 14, getting close to the halfway point in the final frame of regulation.
It's got to come soon at least, but right now at least they're hustling to the line at around the 26-second mark on the play clock.
Cooper, the man in motion. We've seen a lot more of Cooper tonight after the injury to Nick Lockett. Try and go with a run with Bentley, and he can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Blackwell, who's been all over this game, dictating the defense. And now it's third down.
Yeah, now forcing them into a situation here where they kind of have to throw the football. Mexico City now 4 of 9 heading into this one. Can they get to 50% on this one?
Bunch set left side. Sipe to throw on third down. At the logo. Over the middle. Into triple coverage. Look, TD Jack couldn't haul it in. They were looking for Henry, but LA, knowing how dangerous Bill Henry can be, they were all over the tight end.
No, it was great coverage from LA, knowing that, right now, if they're going to trust on their men, they go with Bill Henry. And right now, yeah, this is 4 down territory. They have to go for it here.
4 wide. Offset, single back behind Sipe. 5-man rush pass. It is incomplete. Bill Henry unable to haul it in. There is Jack Hacksaw in on the stop. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, and that's just, nail number 1 in the coffin of Mexico City's game and potentially the season for the Aztecs as well. Still 4:40 left on the clock, but now LA's MO is to run that clock to 0-0-0.
It's gone final in Detroit. Florida 30, Motor City 10, as the Storm clinched the East Division and a playoff spot. We've only had a handful of clinches this season, as Logan Jack gets the call right side. Even with a loss here tonight, Brett, Mexico City, at least at this point in time, is still not eliminated from playoff contention. Still lots of things up in the air, so lots of time left to go here this season.
And that window becomes smaller and smaller, though, for Mexico City with this loss here. It almost becomes insurmountable at this point. Have you ever heard of a 4-8 team making the playoffs?
It would be a first. It would be a first. But still, statistically, all things are possible. Pitch play, Jack again. Couple more yards as Mexico City bring him down. 3rd and 6 as the clock ticks under 4 minutes. Tomorrow night, join Cameron Irvine and Stephen Hacker as they break down all the action from this weekend on This Week in the SFL at 7:15 p.m. Eastern, before the Jacksonville Kings put their season on the line against the DC Dragons. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, right here on SFL YouTube. Sully doesn't have to throw it. You're on 3rd and 6. They will delay handoff with Jack, and crushing hit right before the line to gain by Jeffrey Daggs. And that keeps Mexico City's hopes alive.
Yeah, it's a lifeline that LA's given them here, and they're still going to push them to around, it looks to be around the 240 mark if everything goes well for LA on this. But it's still a chance for Mexico City, and they'll take any chance that they can get.
So Jeffrey Daggs will now go from laying some lumber to awaiting this punt as it spirals toward the near sideline, as Daggs will call a fair catch at the 44-yard line. And so Aztecs will need to go 86 yards to find the end zone for the first time since the first quarter.
And right now, I don't think there's any option. Jordan Sipe has to air this out.
They cannot be conservative, especially this far away from the end zone here on the field. Sipe will look to throw. Looking middle, incomplete. Tried a quick slant pattern over the middle, nothing doing.
Yeah, and you have to think that loss of Nick Lockett on the second play of Mexico City's first drive is really starting to take into effect now, especially in the second half. Mexico City's offense, they've kind of turned into really a 2 or 3 trick pony at this point, because they don't have a lot of more targets that they can trust on aside from maybe Bill Henry or Jason Bartley.
They'll send Ray Bentley out of the backfield to act as another wide receiver, trying to put as many of their star players out in the field as possible. As there's Bill Henry, one of the smallest tight ends in the game today, picks up about 9 yards, and it brings up 3rd and inches. Sipe will look to throw again, looking middle, and Henry couldn't haul it in. Looked like the same exact play, and LA was alive to it. 4th and inches, 4th and potentially ball game here for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and you can see the difference of just those two plays. That first time they went to Henry, it was right on the mark. The second time, too far ahead of Bill Henry. And now, again, they have to go for it. 4 down territory with 2.5 minutes left. There's a no-brainer.
Sipe is 4 of 10 here in this half. He will roll near side, looking for Henry, who has to have a little bit of work to do, and he does find the first down. It's a conversion on 4th down, and back to the line they go. Sipe, middle, it's Henry, 6 yards before he's tapped down.
They can't go with short yard plays, though. They need to find something deep. I would look at Bartley again. He's 4-6 on targets.
Oh! Too many times they run that play, and Rochelle Colston comes up with the interception, and LA is sitting pretty.
Yeah, and it's just jumping the play. And that's what Colston did this time, just in a perfect spot, right beside Jason Bartley. Didn't have to move all that much. Saw the ball getting thrown towards her, and then boom, right in her hands. And that's got to be the final nail in the coffin with 2:06 left.
This is only the 3rd time that LA has hosted, or the LA franchise has hosted the Mexico City Aztecs here at home. As things stand, this will be the first franchise win in this series history. They have only beaten Mexico City one other time. And that was when they were the Chicago Wildcats way back in season 12, when they took down Mexico City in Mexico City, 35-27, as Will and the Lycans hold on for just 2 more minutes to claim their 4th victory of season 21. This is the SFL on YouTube. Sully Richardson will be under center. We'll hand off here for Logan Jack. Logan Jack cutting with at one point 3 different defenders. And he will pick up a couple more yards. Brings up 2nd down as the Aztecs call their first of 3 timeouts.
Yeah, and this is a unique situation here. Now it's a 3rd and 1. Can Mexico City at least stop this drive? Maybe stop the bleeding here. It's still pretty much in Sid O'Lindy's range here. It'd be a tough one if they could keep them either at the line or behind.
From the 27-yard line. Stretch play near side, Logan Jack. That's a first down. And they can just sit back, relax, as Mexico City are now forced to call their 2nd of 3 timeouts. And unfortunately for the Aztecs, they just weren't able to get the job done today. They were stymied for a large part of the ball game, just unable to get anything going on offense. Jordan Sipe barely over 50% completion percentage, and after Ray Bentley had a solid 73-yard run for that touchdown, he was largely kept in check most of the game. And unfortunately for the Aztecs, just like that final timeout, the chances and the probability for the Aztec season lasting longer than 14 weeks just seems to evaporate.
Yeah, and you can't win football games on just 84 yards of total offense in the second half. You just can't do that. And to really emphasize that, Ray Bentley and Buford Van Dam didn't really do much in this second half, just 28 total rushing yards in that second half.
Jack with a solid gain is close to the line to gain, as LA will join 5 other teams at 4 and 5, including Central Division leaders Indianapolis, and 2 other members of their own division, Vancouver and Portland, and now that Pacific Division. Well, Brett, maybe it's too soon, but that Pacific Division, those last 3 spots, really going to go hammer and tongue for a wild card spot.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough for all 3 of those teams moving forward, because they're going to have themselves at least some part of difficult teams coming into their last 3 games. LA in week 13 will have Fort Worth. as well. Week 13 or 14, if I'm not mistaken, Vancouver is going to play now the new Pacific Division champion, Seattle, and that'll be a big test there. And then Portland, if I'm not mistaken, also has Alamo City coming up, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that.
That's another first down from Logan Jack, and all Sully has to do is take a knee. It will be 5 consecutive games for Sully Richardson without a blemish to his name. He has played phenomenally. Close to 130 QBR tonight as he will take his final snap of the ball game. It's there in the victory formation. And there's the final kneel down. Richardson leads another masterful performance for the Lycans here at home. They take only their second victory against the Aztecs in franchise history, and it's a convincing one. 24-10. Lycans move to 4-5 and are deadlocked with 2 other teams in their own division, and things are getting spicy for that wild card race. Lycans win at Lycanthrope.
Yeah, and it's just a second half performance from LA to just, like you said earlier, Tyler, stymie that second half defense or second half offense of Mexico City. And to say the least, to keep it short here for LA, it's been an LA night. Yeah!
Los Angeles had a spectacular game. It has to be said. Credit to the defense. Of course, most people will point to Rochelle Colston with the interception. They had 9 total pass deflections, but it really has to be said, the key contributor on that defense tonight, Brett, was Tazzy Blackwell. For 11 combined tackles, led the team and really caused fits for Ray Bentley and the rest of that running back core.
Yeah, and a big thing as well, when Mexico City was, against the wall there, Los Angeles just kept on pushing. The Aztecs were 0 of 4 on third down efficiency in the second half, and that's something you just cannot do. And it was led by that key defense and capped off by the Rochelle Colston interception to give LA a much needed victory and now their 3rd win in the last 4 weeks.
And they were able to control time of possession. They were able to establish their brand of football, and it led to a 14-point lead and eventually the win. For Greg Soto, for Timothy Hackett, my partner Brett Solberg, for the commissioner Cameron Irvine, I've been Tyler Falk. We'll see you tomorrow for the Monday Night Spectacular, Jacksonville and DC. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.